Hello and welcome back to Castle Combe. Race number 2 of the weekend for the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup is only a few moments away because the green flag lap has just begun. We've already had a race today, of course, earlier on, which was won by Stephen Daly, the reigning champion. Owen Hunter was second and Ian Jones was third, but it was a thriller-minute race, and the three of them were tied together throughout the entire 15 minutes. And well, let's hope we get more of the same this time around. They start together from the grid again because they start this one how they finished the first race of the weekend. Stephen Daly arrived here as the championship leader. Of course, his race win means that he's still the championship leader. He's now got a 16-point lead over Owen Hunter. He only managed to take a point out of Owen, though, because Owen was second but had the fastest lap, so that's worth a point. Although, of course, Stephen had the pole position as well, so it's sort of equalled itself out so far over the course of the day. Owen will need to try and beat him in this one if possible. So it's Stephen Daly who is on pole position for this one by virtue of his winning race 1, with Owen Hunter alongside his nearest championship rival. Ian Jones and Ben Huntley make up row number 2, and then it's Paul Hinson and David May on row 3. Row 4 for Sam Carrington-Yates and Tom Langford. Row 5 we will have Keith Towers and Gordon McMillan, who had it off early on in race 1. Liam McGill is next ahead of Matt Parks on the 6th row of the grid, then Craig Jameson and Wayne Flint, who also dropped back midway through the first race. Matt Flowers and Tom Griffiths are next in line ahead of Andrew Prince and Simon Welch. Mike Doble and Alan Caulfield are down on the 10th row of the grid together, ahead of Mark Skeets, who went off on lap 1, and Tim Scott Andrews. Aaron Morgan is next, then Jonathan Atkinson on the 12th row of the grid, ahead of Martin Gadsby, Jim Barrett, Mikey Doble and Nick Edmond towards the back of this mammoth 33-car field that is rounded out by Phil Sharp, Andrew Woodbine, Colin Way, Alessandro Albano, and right at the back of the grid is Phil Adcock. So hopefully all 33 will be able to get out there for this race. Should be another really good one. 15 minutes of short, sharp action around the Castle Combe circuit. Really looking forward to seeing what happens in this one. Championship-wise, it's important for Owen Hunter to try and do something about Stephen Daly. They haven't yet taken dropped scores into account, though, and Owen will drop a few less points than Stephen Daly because he's had a couple of finishes off the podium, whereas Stephen, his worst finish so far this year has been second. So Stephen will drop a few more points. That tightens things up again. So it's probably, in reality, it's somewhere about 13 or 14 points between them on drop scores, but that doesn't get taken into account until after this race meeting, because this race meeting marks the halfway point. In fact, we are exactly halfway through the season now. We've had 7 races, we've got 7 more to go, including this one, so it's a fresh start for some as they try to kick-start the second half of their season in slightly better fashion than the first half, perhaps. Andrew Woodbine, the orange and white car at the back of the grid, that's the car that won the championship 2 years ago in the hands of James Gornall. The green flag, though, is waved at the back of the grid. Stephen Daly and Owen Hunter make up the front row of the grid. The lights go out fairly quickly. Even start made by both front row men as they go up through the gears. In fact, the whole field gets away fairly evenly. Keep an eye on the dark green car there on the outside, about 12th on the grid. That is a car that should move forward. That is Matthew Parks, championship contender, who was disqualified from qualifying. Leaders, though, make their way up towards the top of the hill. All 33 of them are going to go into Quarry Corner. Will all 33 come out the other side, and in what order? Stephen Daly leads the way. No, he doesn't. Ian Jones on the inside and hits him. Ian Jones gets into the side of Stephen Daly from 3rd to 1st for Ian Jones, but can he make the move stick? They come out of the corner. He's on the inside. We've got carnage behind, cars spinning around all over the place, but for the race lead is Ian Jones leaning on Stephen Daly, and he goes through. Ian Jones gets the race lead away from the Scotsman, who slots back in line in 2nd place. Owen Hunter gets eased out wide. Paul Hinson's in the mix as well. It's all kicked off right at the start. 4 cars on the grass, but Ian Jones, looking for his first win of the season, is out in front. Daly second. Oh no! Contact between Hinson and David May in a straight line, and they almost spun in front of the whole pack. David May goes 4th as Daly comes back round the outside of Ian Jones for the race lead through town for the first time. And how's that one going to work out? No! Hunter's on the inside instead. Daly went for the lead, nearly loses 2nd place. He just hangs on to it. So it's Jones, Daly, Hunter, May the top 4. Hinson's 5th. Bodywork flying everywhere. That was David May, I think, who caught the tyre stack. And so Paul Hinson on the inside. They lean on each other again. That's twice this lap. And here comes Sam Carrington-Yates up the inside as well. Oh, they're heading into Camp Corner. I hope they all come out the other side of this this one in one piece. Sideways for the race leader, Ian Jones. He's out on the grass. Ian Jones runs wide. Daly's on the inside. Surely no. Jones finds good traction on the grass and holds on to the lead. Daly's right with him though. In the slipstream, pushing him up the hill. Inches between front and rear bumper as they head up Avon Rise for the second time. And Ian Jones has got the lead. Daly second, Hunter third, Hinton fourth. Big lock up there for Owen Hunter as he challenges. Daly round the outside. Up the inside goes Jones. Sideways for both of them. Does Jones leave Daly room on the exit of the corner? He does. They maybe trade a bit of paint, but Jones still has the inside line down towards the S's. There's no doubt Daly is a little bit quicker, but Ian Jones is belligerent. He won't let him go through. And in fact, Owen Hunter can follow him through as well. He's side by side with Daly for second place now. Daly all out of shape. Hunter around the outside. He's going to get him. Owen Hunter, he needs to beat Stephen Daly in this race to realistically keep his championship hopes alive. And he's gone through. Second place for Owen Hunter, and Daly's down to third. Now, will we have Stephen Daly off the podium? That's not happened all year long. We've got Paul Hinson in there in fourth position trying to get through, and Matt Parks is fifth. Matt Parks, from 12th on the grid, is into the top 5 already, but he always has excelled at Castle Combe. This is the circuit where 12 months ago he arrived on the scene with a bang, having had a few sort of average top dozen or so finishes prior to that. He arrived at Castle Combe and was straight on the pace, and arguably should have won a race, but went off whilst trying to get the lead. So Matt Parks then, man, 5th in line, a genuine championship contender up until this weekend, and certainly a contender for a race victory. So Jones leads the way, Hunter second, Daly third, Hinson fourth, Parks fifth. Unsurprisingly, with the fastest lap, David May is sixth. Ben Huntley has been demoted to seventh, and Carrington Yates has lost ground somewhere as well, down to 8th place. Gordon McMillan is ninth, the red car, and 10th place for Keith Towers. Up the hill we go, more locking up going on. Owen Hunter again is sideways, almost into the back of Ian Jones, who's slowing everyone down, but that's the one corner on the circuit where he seems vulnerable. Oh, McMillan's off, he's in the wreck to sell barriers, but I think he avoided the tyre wall. Has he rejoined? Where is McMillan? There he is, pouncing his way back on the track, but he's lost a lot of places. He's scraped the tyre barriers, but no real damage done. So, Jones from Hunter from Daly. Yeah, the rest of the lap, Ian Jones seems reasonably comfortable, but can Owen Hunter get through? Another car exiting onto the grass there, nearly into the cornfield, coming through the S's. Down towards Tower, who's going to make the move this time. Matt Parks, the man most likely, but he's looking to the outside of Paul Hinson, who's defending the inside line. They are all absolutely tied together as they go through the long right-hander there at Tower Corner, down towards Bobby's for the third time of asking. Look at this can't last, surely. They're driving so close together. There's got to be contact at some point, but it is Ian Jones who leads the way. Ian, dear, cars on the grass further back. Ian is a real character as well. If he can pull off a race win, I'm going to really enjoy watching the interview that he does with Bryn. Even if he's just on the podium, he's going to be enjoying this, I'm sure. Out of Camp Corner, they goes a bit wide again. Owen Hunter looking to the inside line. Ian Jones shovels him right the way down to the inside of the road. Owen Hunter just about avoids the grass. He's going to go through, surely. Owen Hunter will take the race lead away, or will he? Ian Jones is going to try and hang tough around the outside, but Daly is there as well. Hunter on the inside, Jones on the outside. Daly trying to get past the pair of them if he can. They're not going to go 3 abreast into Quarry, surely. No, Stephen Daly backs out of that one. Hunter goes through, Daly goes through, Jones is down to third. That didn't take long, did he? He's going to try and fight back on the exit though, and get back on the inside of Stephen Daly, who almost leans on him again as they rush down towards the S's. But Daly, no, he's going to lose the place again, I think. Jones is going back through. So Ian Jones does retake second. Hunter leads, Jones second, Daly third. Hunter's wide though, all over the curb, so Ian Jones might just be back alongside of the run down towards Tower. He's going to be. Ian Jones is going back for the race lead. Oh, contact again. Ian Jones sideways for Owen Hunter, but Jones is going to go back through into the race lead. He's got the inside line down towards Tower Corner. They lean on each other. Oh no! Ian Jones off and into the tyre wall. That did not have to happen. He's going to try and carry on, and Stephen Daly gets the lead because it was contact with Owen Hunter that put Jones off the road, and it's Stephen Daly that gets past the pair of them. So Daly now leads, Hunter second, and Paul Hinson, looking for his first podium of the year, is in third place. Then it's Matt Parks in fourth. David May still fifth, maybe. No, Ben Huntley's up there. Yeah, no, I think he's still fifth. I think that's Matt Parks in front of him, I could see. Daly, with 9 minutes and 20 seconds still left on the clock, leads the way, but Owen Hunter's there. He gets another good run out of the final corner, looks to the inside line. As we go back to a replay, you can see Ian Jones just moves over. Owen Hunter had to turn in, and Jones was going straight on, and they made contact, and into the tyre barriers goes Ian Jones. Right, what is going on for the race lead? Is it still Daly? I think it might be, as they head in towards Quarry. Yes, it is. Hunter looking to the inside, but can't quite do it. Drifts a bit wide through the apex of the corner. Then it's Hinson and Parks fighting over third place. Who'd have thought at the start of the day, though, that Matt Parks would be fighting for a podium position? Down towards the S's they go again. Hinson defends the inside line. through the chicane they go. Daly this time, the one that gets sideways though through the dip. Owen Hunter doing everything he can to try and wrestle the race lead away. We've got yellow flags being displayed on the pit straight, and I know not why, but there possibly is a car that stopped somewhere. No sign of a safety car just yet though, so whatever the reason for that is, I'm not too sure. Anyway, we'll get to that in a moment. The field streaking through back up the hill, and it is Daly that leads the way. Daly and Hunter now starting to break free from the rest of the chasing pack, which is kind of what we saw in race 1, and then as they started doing battle, Ian Jones caught them back up. Ian Jones, by the way, did not come through in the top 20. Liam McGill, I think that is, that's pulled it off. Is that on the pit straight, possibly? Is that why we have the yellow flags? Is that Gordon McMillan? Maybe with the rear bumper hanging loose. I think it is McMillan, isn't it? Yeah, the Raw Motorsport car with the rear bumper trailing as Owen Hunter again tries to get to the inside of Stephen Daly. Oh, contact going through the first corner. That is the fastest part of the circuit, and Stephen Daly just turned straight into Owen Hunter, put him on the grass. They both got sideways. Owen's not going to like that at all, and he might just dish it back out again as they go through Quarry. They turn through the right-hander. They do try and keep it clean, but when you're racing this close together, it's so hard to keep your tempers intact. Down towards the S's they go. There's more contact further back. I think that was David May and Matt Parks getting together. No, Parks and Hinson, I think, because I think Matt Parks is about to appear in 3rd place. Yes, he does. So Matt Parks goes 3rd, Hinson 4th, then David May 5th, Ben Huntley 6th, and Sam Carrington Yates 7th. Then it's Keith Towers next in line. Hunter again trying to get to the inside, but Daly just keeps on shutting the door. But there's a gap on the inside line now, and Owen Hunter has to go for it, surely. Daly's out of shape trying to get into the corner. He runs out wide, and Hunter's going to go through. Owen Hunter will retake the race lead. Daly almost loses it, but through will go Owen Hunter. There's where Ian Jones has got to be pulled off down at Bobby, so he's out of the race as well, and he can watch what has been a terrific scrap from the sidelines. But it's Owen Hunter who finally forced the mistake out of Stephen Daly. Daly knew he'd left the gap on the inside, so he had to go in really deep on the brakes, but it was just too deep. He slithered out wide, and Hunter went through. Will that be the end of it, though, or can Daly now use the slipstream to try and re-challenge for the lead again? Paul Hinson a bit wide in 4th place there. That could leave him vulnerable to attack from the cars behind. They are David May, Ben Huntley and Sam Carrington Yates. Lead gap 0.4 of a second. Matt Parks just did the outright fastest second sector, though, and with still only just less than half the race to go, he could close in on the leading 2 as Owen Hunter locks a break in towards Quarry. That means he misses the apex. Daly's there on the inside again, almost. Daly's not going to let him go. Here is he. He's looking to the inside down towards the S's, but Hunter, well, the way in which Daly's defended from him, Hunter will not hesitate to throw a block on the Scotsman. In towards the S's they go. It's all kicking off behind them as well. Ben Huntley was trying to go through on the inside line. Yeah, there's cars off everywhere. Hinson and Huntley are on the grass, and David May comes past the pair of them. That was, you could see that coming. They were 3 abreast going into the S's, and you could only go single file through those S's. So 3 into 1 certainly wasn't going to go. Well, leaders, it's a struggle to catch your breath in this race, isn't it? Owen Hunter cannot escape from Stephen Daly, so Stephen Daly is very much going to go after the race win here if he can. Black and white warning flag for Owen Hunter for exceeding the track limits. Needs to be careful with that. He was flirting with danger again there. Matt Parks, though, on the previous lap was quicker than the pair of them, so he's definitely closing. You can see there, the car 3rd in shot is closing on the leading 2. Daly looking to the inside in towards Camp. We already know you can't really overtake there without the risk of contact. They're both sideways over the curve. Daly gets the better exit from the corner, though. Can he get up the inside line? Yes, he has. They're overlapping across the start-finish line, and Stephen Daly could go back into the race lead. Sensational racing from the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup, and it's Daly back in front. Owen Hunter will challenge again, though, towards Quarry, I'm sure, and all of this dicing is bringing Matt Parks into play. He was over half a second quicker than the leader that time around. Inside line for Daly, outside for Owen Hunter. He tries to get back up the inside on the exit of the corner, wipes the nose of the number 47 car across the rear bumper of the number 1 car of Stephen Daly. Slippery surface flag out of the S's, but they can still overtake down here if they want. And Daly, Hunter, and now Matt Parks are together. Imagine if Matt Parks wins this race from 33rd on the grid in race 1 to, well, at least a podium, it looks like. Maybe still a race victory. They're almost touching again there as they come through Old Paddock Bend. Now this is where Hunter forced the mistake out of Daly a few laps ago. Will he try and do the same thing again? Looks to the inside line. He's late on the brakes. Daly's rear end slides out again. They almost make contact. They're trying so much to show each other respect, but Hunter can see Matt Parks bearing down on him. He needs to try and make this move quickly before he then is stuck in the middle, because defending and attacking at the same time is one of the worst positions to be in. Well, unfortunately, that's the position Owen Hunter's going to be in very shortly. He's trying to get alongside Daly down towards Camp. Daly again drives down the inside of the road, trying to defend the position. Owen Hunter in behind. Oh, wheel on the grass for Daly, turned into the corner, nearly loses the rear of the car. Over the curb, 1, 2, 3, straight across the line they will go. Just under 4 minutes still to go. Daly, Hunter, Parks, separated by 0.4 of a second, and it's Parks who has the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 21.570, and he's right there with them now. Back marker in the distance. Hopefully they'll see these three arriving on the scene. You don't want to get in their way at the moment, do you? Onto the brakes, in towards Quarry. Daly again defends the inside line, clobbers the curb, but doesn't drift out too wide this time around. Look at that, goes nowhere near the edge of the road. In fact, he's really just trying to drive as defensively as possible. The back marker in front looks like it's the number 49 machine of Colin Way, who should be able to move aside. Oh no, that's the car that Daly tripped over part way through the first race, and it nearly cost him the race win, and it nearly happened again then going through the S's, because it has held him up, look, and Owen Hunter is almost alongside, weaving this way and that, outside, inside, back to the outside line again. Will he throw one up the inside? Yes, he does! Owen Hunter going for the race lead. Daly's really late on the brakes again, but gets to the apex, slow sideways through the corner. Matt Parks has backed off. I think he's thinking, I don't want to be a part of this. This could all go horribly wrong. Owen Hunter and Stephen Daly, it's a great rivalry these two have. They've been racing each other now for several seasons in this championship, but this is the first year, really, that Owen Hunter has been a genuine challenge for the title, and he is determined that he's going to take Stephen Daly right down to the wire for the championship this year. 2.5 minutes to go, so by my reckoning, 2 more laps of this. It's one of those races you don't want to end, though, isn't it? Across the line they go, 2 tenths between them. Matt Parks dropped back by about 8 tenths that time around. I'm fairly sure that's self-preservation speaking there. He's happy with the podium, does not want to get caught up in their accident. Up towards Quarry we go again then, into the braking zone. Hunter will again try and force Stephen Daly to defend the inside line, which he does. Daly looks late on the brakes there. Yeah, drifts out wide. The gap on the inside for Owen Hunter is there. Not quite. Stephen Daly just gets across to defend. Down the straight towards the S's again. This has been one of the races of the day here from the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup, and it's not over yet. Still a lap and a half to go, and Owen Hunter tries to build the speed up out of the S's through Old Paddock. This is where he's been so strong all day long. He was making moves through here in the first race as well. He briefly got the lead down here a few laps ago, only to then lose it again to Daly. Is he close enough to go up the inside? He's looking, but Daly now knows that move's coming, and he knows that he can brake really late. He can just stop the car on the apex. As long as he gets to the apex, then Hunter's not going through. Owen looks to the inside towards Bobby's, but it's a short shoot down in towards this chicane. Flip-flop through the right, through the left, then hard on the power, and Owen Hunter could not be any closer to the back of the reigning champion's car. Down towards the final corner, they're about to come for the penultimate time of asking. Stephen Daly, Owen Hunter and Matt Parks, any one of these 3 cars could win the race. That's the, though Stephen Daly is being warned for exceeding the track limits, along with car number 96, which is one running further down the order. Onto the final lap we go then. The top 4 covered by 8.5 tenths of a second, so Matt Parks is kind of joining back in the fun. What's this all about, though? There's at least a car length between them as they're going towards Quarry this time around. Late on the brakes, though, is Owen Hunter, so he closes back in towards the right hand. You can see a bit of trim dangling on the front end of Stephen Daly's car. The front left corner of Owen Hunter's car looks damaged, and indeed it is, but that's from a testing crash on Friday, not from anything that's happened today. In towards the S's they go again, and Hunter's building. This is his part of the circuit now, the far end of the track. The car seems more balanced over the curbs, doesn't it, through the S's, and then he can turn so much tighter through Old Paddock Bend. But as long as Daly gets over to defend the inside line towards Tower, it's going to be difficult for Owen Hunter to find a way through here. There's Paul Hinson's going through further back, but Owen Hunter, all from the outside to the inside again. So tempting just to run into the back of Stephen Daly's car. But again, I have to comment on the respect that they're showing each other. Hunter on the inside line, no. Daly again gets across to the inside to defend. It's been a phenomenal race, and it's going to come down to the very final corner. And Owen Hunter has a run. He has momentum down towards Camp Corner. Stephen Daly will have to defend the inside line. Surely Hunter won't throw one up the inside here. He's going to try it. Looks to the inside. Who's latest on the brake? Stephen Daly just gets into the corner in front. It's going to be a drag race to the line, but I think Stephen Daly will do it side by side, and Daly gets the win by 1.5 tenths. What a race! Owen Hunter in second place, and Matt Parks a slightly distant third in the end. David May is 4th, Ben Huntley is 5th, and Sam Garrington-Yates is 6th. Then Paul Hinson 7th, Tom Langford 8th. Mark Skeets possibly will come home 9th, yes, ahead of Keith Towers in 10th place. And I'll now try and lower my voice back down a couple of octaves, because that was one of the best races I've seen in a long time. The Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup always produces great racing, but they've outdone themselves today. They've really played up for the live cameras, I think, and they have put on quite a show. I hope you've all enjoyed that. They will be back on the TCR support bill a little bit later on in the season as well. They're they're with us for their final rounds at Donington Park as well. So if ever there was a reason to be looking forward to the final rounds of TCR UK this year, that just adds to it, doesn't it? Because we'll get to see this championship concluded, and if it's a battle between Daly and Hunter for the championship, then all bets are off. It's going to be one of the most spectacular championship finales we've seen for a long time. Daly with the win. And what a hard-fought win that was. I bet that he'll be sweating after that race. I don't think he was as quick as Owen Hunter. Owen certainly seemed to be able to apply the pressure, but even when Owen got through, Daly seemed able to challenge and retake the place again, didn't he? So interesting stuff there, that Daly, although he arguably wasn't the quicker of the two, was still able to come home the winner. There is confirmation of the fact. It's Daly from Hunter from Parks, your top three. David May in fourth, Ben Huntley fifth, Sam Carrington-Yates is sixth, then Paul Hinson seventh, Tom Langford eighth, Mark Scutes in ninth, and Keith Towers rounds out the top 10. We really didn't get to see anyone other than the top three though, did we? Because it was so exciting at the front. Craig Jameson 11th, Wayne Flint 12th, then Tom Griffiths, Matt Flowers, and Andrew Prince. Tim Scott Andrews came home in 16th, Jim Barrett 17th, Jonathan Atkins in 18th, Simon Welch 19th, and Martin Gadsby rounds out the top 20. Then it's Mikey Doble, Aaron Morgan, Alan Caulfield, Nick Edmond, Mike Doble in 25th, then Phil Adcock, Phil Sharp, Andrew Woodbine, and Colin Way was one lap down. Alessandro Albano was a retirement, unfortunately, and there were a couple of others that fell by the wayside too. Liam McGill, Gordon McMillan, and Ian Jones, who was on potentially for that first win of the season. Well, it was a breathless 15 minutes of racing. Let's remind you of some of the action. It was a very even start from both front row men. Daly on the inside, Owen Hunter on the outside, but it all kicked off up at the top of the hill as Daly got contact from Ian Jones, who managed to make his way through into the race lead. Jones, though, ran wide at the end of the opening lap, almost handing the lead away to Daly, who was then stuck battling with Owen Hunter for second place. Hunter muscled his way through. Daly was down to third at one point before Hunter went for the lead, got up the inside of Ian Jones, and they began what was a titanic three-way duel for the lead. Hunter from Daly was the order briefly, but it changed almost by the corner. Jones looked like he got the lead back, but there was contact with Owen Hunter, and off into the tyre wall went the number 59 car, not the end of the race he was hoping for. Daly and Hunter then went toe-to-toe for the remainder of the race, with Hunter making a beautiful move on Steve Daly, forcing the mistake out of the reigning champion and taking the lead away up at Tower Corner. Daly did well to save it and then almost immediately rebounded, got back up the inside across the start-finish line and took the lead back from Hunter. Try as he might, Owen could not get the TradePriceCars.com car back through, and Daly it was who held on to the victory by just under 1.5 tenths of a second. So Daly, Hunter and Parks, your top three finishers. Daly will therefore extend the championship lead. Matt Parks, though, may well move through into third place. So we wait now to see whether we have our podium interviews. I would love to catch up with those top three finishes. We believe that we will be able to. I need to hand over to Bryn for a little while because I need to catch my breath. That was one of the most exciting races of the season. Fantastic stuff from the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup. We've got one more race coming up in this stream, and it's a good one, well worth sticking around for. The Castle Combe Saloon Car Championship in association with National Windscreens, a 15-lap thrash for a real variety of machinery to round out the day's action. That will be coming up after a little bit of clear-up work is undertaken out on the circuit. And you can see there, Gordon McMillan, one of the cars that needs to be recovered from up at the chicane. But thankfully, no barrier damage, no lengthy delays required. We should be able to get our final race of the day in as planned. So we are, I think, more or less ready. The drivers, I'm sure, Bryn, have an awful lot to talk about after that one. I hope you found yourself a good vantage point to watch what was one of the best races of the day. It
really was, wasn't it? Action-packed from start to finish. And I've got the race winner here, a very sweaty race winner. That looked like a rather fraught and frenetic race.
Yeah, obviously the heat's phenomenal out there on track, and that kind of adds to the adrenaline that's going on inside the car. Owen, Ian, Matt this weekend have been absolutely phenomenal. Matt's been a bit unfortunate with his qualification this morning, but he's came back through the third, so that's fantastic to see that. But what a race that was so intense, and there was just really cars everywhere. Looking in my mirror, there was cars left, cars right, and you know, there was moves. The lead changed maybe 4 or 5 times throughout the race, so that's what we like to see, and that's brilliant.
And we thought it might change on the final corner of the final lap, but you managed to hold on.
Yeah, well, that makes both of us, because I thought there was an opportunity for Owen as well, but I mean, there's only so many things you can do out there within the rules, and it's a clean sport. So, I mean, you didn't want to come over and Owen. I didn't know if he was there or not, but you know, we were lucky enough to come away with the win there.
Well, lucky enough and talented enough. Well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Congratulations to our race winner. Let's move into our second place. Owen, Stephen was saying about the fact that this is close racing but non-contact racing, and you showed a lot of respect to him there.
Yeah, I mean, between us four all year, it's been a lot of respect for each other. We've all got a lot of respect for each other as drivers and off the track. So yeah, it's always good racing with him. Obviously, I prefer to be at the front, but yes, it's enjoyable whatever happens.
And you made that move at the very, very last turn. Did you think you were going to get through?
No, it's more a case of just showing my nose out there and hoping Steve would make a mistake. But you know, I just Lady Luck wasn't on my side today. I tried my best. I'm just glad to be out there, and I just want to thank Raw Motorsport, XDR Motors, and Trade Price Cars for their help for getting me here.
Congratulations, second place. It was a well-earned second place. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good stuff to earn. Let's bring in our third place as well, shall we? Let's bring in Matt. Matt, third piece of the puzzle. What a puzzle that was.
Yeah, mega. I mean, it's out back in our backyard, and after the events of this morning, being disqualified from qualifying, to make the comeback in the first race, that was the best I could do, and then it was just to go for a podium, just drive like an animal, really.
Yeah, from 12th on the grid to third. I mean, that is a heck of a leap, isn't it?
It was hard work,
Yeah.
as you can probably tell.
But you also pulled almost a 4-second gap as well. So not only did you jump 9 cars, you pulled a 4-second gap.
I think that was the aim of the game was to get the job done early. Obviously, we had a bit of assistance from me and James going off down into Tower, but I think David and Paul Hinson behind were scrabbling, so that was slowing them down a little bit. I think otherwise Dave would have been fairly close.
Yeah, well, congratulations. Third place goes to Matt.
Thanks very much.
There we go, top 3. Andy, I know you've got another race coming up. Back to you.
Yes, I think I'm just about prepared for that. Thank you very much to everyone who's joined us for the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup. We look forward to having them back on the bill a little bit later on. One more race coming your way for the Castle Coombs Blue Car Championship. Don't go anywhere.